Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today I'm going to give you some motorcycle romance recommendations. Now, for the month of May, I have been diving deep into my motorcycle romance catalog. I know a lot of people are doing Mafia May or they're doing Omega Verse, but personally, I've been loving motorcycle romances. And so I figured, why not bring this idea to you all and give you all some options for you to read before the end of the month. Again, motorcycle romances is one of the things that I don't see talked about enough here on BookTube or on Instagram. So I figured, let me give the people what they've been craving. This spans why choose romance. It spans urban fiction. It has some paranormal. So whatever your cup of tea may be, just know that I've got some recommendations for you. Starting with I think one of the first motorcycle romances that I had ever read, which is going to be Easy Like Sunday Morning by Kenya Gory Bell. If you all know me, y'all know I love this story. I am obsessed and feral for this. I don't care how many times Kenya gives it to me. She has repackaged a little bit of Angel and Easy story in a couple of different scenes. And I'm like, yeah, give me more. Because these two here is kind of what kicked off my love for the subtrope. Now, Angel is the president of his motorcycle club, and he is trying to bring two factions together. He has the old heads that are used to doing things the gritty way, that are used to taking advantage of women and giving motorcycle clubs a bad rep. And then you have the newcomers that are like, hey, I just want to be a part of a brotherhood. Like, I feel like your leadership, Angel, is something I can fall for. So he's already dealing with a lot in his motorcycle club. And then he meets this angelic beauty named Easy. Now, Ezekiel comes in and she is very doe-eyed, very pure. And she's like, hey, I just need some help. My car broke down. Angel's like, no, 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 baby, you stepped into the lion's den, and who am I not to protect you? And from that, it turns into a whirlwind romance because there's a small town element to it. There is some high suspense going on. There's a lot of misunderstandings in here, but everything clears out when Angel puts his foot down and is like, yeah, no, we go together real bad. And I want you to know it's like that for you forever and more. And I love this. If you want a tinge of dark romance, you want the, virgin FMC, you want the man that is going to burn down and scorch the earth to get his women back, look no further than Easy Like Sunday Morning. This is a part of a series. However, I feel like you can jump into this one without knowing the landscape and you'll be just fine. So this was my first recommendation for you all that are looking for something that has that small town element, but it definitely gets the, I'm a bad boy and she's a good girl. Now, if you are looking for urban romances, I've got two to recommend for you. And these two here are my latest obsessions. I cannot get enough of reading the Zoo Boys. This is a part of Tatiana Timmons' universe where she has motorcycle club, she has some found family elements. Everything about this gives romantic suspense. It has very great cliffhangers. It is such a force to be reckoned with on audiobook because this is narrated by my main man, Winston James. Like, I adore the Zoo Boys. When I tell you I am feral over them, please make me a zoo baby. And I can't tell you necessarily who's my favorite because all of them have a little bit something that I could love. Now, this is Preacher's book. This is called The Streets in the Pulpit. Preach is a preacher's kid. And before you read this, I would actually jump into Street Chaos, and that gives you a little bit of an element of each and every one of the characters. This probably has the best writing when it comes to suspense, when it comes to dropping you right down into the action, when it comes to wanting to know more and having distinct and unique characters amongst the motorcycle crew. You've got a pastor's kid, like I said, who takes his religion very seriously. You have a crooning, singing, handsome, pretty boy. You have a big-hearted kid that will do whatever is necessary, and he loves his motorcycle crew. You have the misunderstood bad boy, and then you've got the leader of the crew who is pretty much keeping them all together. I can't tell you how much I would recommend this book if you're looking for something that is high action, that is, like I said, found family, and you're looking for something that collectively you feel like they are a unit and the women are made perfectly for them. So if that is something that you're looking for, I'm going to tell you to pick up Tatiana Timmons' Zoo Boy series and start with Street Chaos. But if you don't want to start there because it's a little too chaotic, go directly to the streets in the Pulpit. When we talk about motorcycle series, I think one of the ones that are blazing the streets when it comes to urban romances is anything written by Jacquel J. Now, I would tell you all to start with Capri if you're looking to just get into the motorcycle piece. However, will be severely confused if you start here. You have to start with Capone because all of it builds up. So there is the Delgato. So you have Capone and Capadonna. They are popcorn eating suspense. Like, you will never leave the seat. Like, you will binge through and burn through the entire series to get to Capri. Capri is the final Delgato sibling that you get to see in the set. So she is the third set of books. Now, keeping that in mind, this is the first time you get to see the Infernal Gods because Capri winds up marrying into the Infernal Gods, and her brother becomes an Infernal God. So again, it's very, very tied in. You do need to read the series in order to really get the feel of why it's so important and how that brotherhood extends into the Infernal Gods. But when I talk about high octane, very similar, because the one unique thing is these two actually cross paths. So once you get to, I want to say book 4 or 5 in this series, you get to see it reflected in Capri. So these two go hand in hand. Very easy tie-in, but Capri's book and the subsequently after that you get to Qasim, and then later you'll get to see Goon. All of them are this brotherhood that takes over and has the streets of New York on lock. These men ride hard for their family. They ride hard for their brotherhood. Like, there is no us versus them. We all family. And I love being able to see Jacquel just write it so well that, like, you feel like you're in a high speed chase with them. You feel like you understand the code and you want to read more and get to know everyone within the club. And seeing how these grown men handle their business in the streets and outside of the streets. So motorcycle romance is definitely looking into Jacquel's catalog. This is Capri, where you get to meet the first Infernal God, but start with Capone if you're going to jump into the series. If you're looking for something paranormal, I'm going to tell you the most recent one of the most recent books that I read for motorcycle romances is Queenie and the Krakens. This is a white shoes romance with a woman who actually is part shifter, and she meets a group of motorcyclists that are also part Kraken. And it is her being kind of thrust into their motorcycle club because she saw something happen to one of their brothers, and they're trying to figure out who did it and see if they can care for her because she washes up on shore and she is unconscious, but she is unclothed, and the men are like, we can't have her out here. Let's go ahead and bring her back to the club. They start to realize that she may know a little bit more, and they start to fall in love with her. Each one of them has a very different relationship and dynamic with them. And I thought that Alira, this made by Alira Anya Saras. So this is a FMC who is Afro-Latino. She is very strong-willed. She has a tumultuous past when it comes to dealing with motorcycle clubs and how she was raised. And so she is pushing back at every chance she gets to not be with these men. But when she starts to see how well they do as a motorcycle club and starts to form independent bonds with them. One guy she loves intellectually, another guy she loves that he can push her buttons, another guy she sees suffers from PTSD and she just wants to care for them. So it is very, very engaging. Some of the plot points I did suspect, but it felt even more invested for me to be able to read it. So if you're looking for something that has a paranormal element, has a strong FMC, check this one out. Another paranormal motorcycle romance is going to be Seduced by the Moonlight. This is a motorcycle crew that are shifters. They turn into werewolves, and the witch that holds a prophecy, and our leader of our motorcycle club starts to see that, hey, this woman is not only is she destined to be in our area, she is what we prophesied for. We need to be able to protect her and understand what's going on. And from there, it is hilarious banter. There is really great artwork, I would say, in here as well. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But you get to see like some really cool things that is happening within this series. These two are like I said, destined to be together, and from there their friends get involved. They have been keeping low key. This is a secret hidden town, and all the pieces start to come together, and I really, really enjoyed this. This is by Queenie Wright. Queenie Wright writes a ton of different romances, but I loved being able to read this and then see how the world continues to build from here, because this is only book one. There is another book that follows this that I haven't read, but it is still in the same universe, just not with werewolf shifters. But I had such a good time with this one. Again, if you're looking for a shifter romance that has a motorcycle club, check this one out. Now, if you're looking for something that's quick, that's easy, that you don't really want to spend a ton of time in, I'm going to tell you to pick up this quick novella. This is Love Never by Therese M. Clarke. This is a novella within the Courageous Love series. Now, honestly, I would tell you, you need to read Heartbeat first, because Heartbeat flows directly into this. But if you don't want to read this, I don't think that you will be lost without Heartbeat. This one is, like I said, a really quick novella that made me cry. It has some magical realism in it. It is where you get to see this motorcyclist. He falls in love with a woman who is passing by and traveling, and they just so happen to have this whirlwind romance over the course of a few months. And then she goes and she disappears and vanishes on him, and they actually wind up having a child. He finds out later on in life, and then it's all about like where they are in life and how they reconnect, and if love is beyond the physical aspect, if it's beyond what the mind and body can understand. And it's just such a lovely, lovely, lovely story. Again, motorcycle romance, you've got a magical realism. Perfect book. I cried. I loved it so much. This one, I would tell you, this is the third in the series. The first is also a motorcycle romance as well, but I just wanted to show off my special edition. If you're looking for a motorcycle romance, I'm going to tell you Marie Maravilla has two in this series. Now, this one right here is City of Salvation. I believe the first one is in the series is also a motorcycle romance. In this one, you have our MMC, who has always kind of been like the jokester, the playboy, and he starts to fall in love with the FMC, who is a Spitfire. But it just so happens that the FMC is running from her past life. She was involved with and informally either married or engaged to somebody that was in the Brafa. And he's like, okay, we will protect you. We will care for you. And it happens to have like bigger, broader themes. Again, very, very romantic suspense. He has always been goofy. Nobody takes him seriously, but he falls in love with our FMC. And he's like, I want to be able to make sure that you feel safe and that you never have to feel scared or afraid or run away. And This one was such a good conclusion to the storyline. But again, I will tell you to read the book one before getting to this one. But this series, chef's kiss. Last but certainly not least, the literal most recent book. I finished the book part one of this Monday. Today is Tuesday. That is going to be Christina C. Jones, The Predators Motorcycle Club. This is a special edition by Read Her. This is a duology. The first book in the series is No Longer Afraid, and Christina C. Jones can do whatever she puts her mind to. This one has hidden identities. You have a little bit of a assassin mixed with our FMC, who is the vice president of her motorcycle club. And she meets this gentleman who is brought into the fold of her motorcycle club. And she's like, I don't trust you. But her president is like, no, he's going to be a part of the fold. He is going to be one of our generals. You got to figure it out. And so she's trying to figure out what's going on with him. Come to find out, he is a part of a disband assassin group. And she's like, okay, I don't know what to do with you. But she starts to find that she becomes attracted to him, but she is already messing with somebody in the club, and that somebody in the club kind of crosses her over. So she's always had her guards up because, again, she's a VP in the motorcycle club. She's already had to be hard. And then when she goes through a lot of difficult times in this book, it does have some heavy triggers, as most of these do. Let me be quite honest to say, when you're reading a motorcycle romance, it also comes with a lot of dark and heavy themes. But in this one in particular, you get to experience some things on page that harden her even more. But our MMC, who is not used to being vulnerable, who is not used to having people that he can lean on, or have people that depend on him and want to see him, he starts to become vulnerable with her and break down her walls, and they get to build a dynamic and a relationship that works for them. And I just really enjoyed being able to see how this motorcycle romance had women that were primarily involved. You had it wasn't an argument or a battle of the sexes. Everyone earned their keep, and they worked in harmony, and I really enjoyed this one. So again, if you want to read a motorcycle romance, you have your pick to choose from. All of these are great recommendations, if I do say so myself. I'm going to ask you if there's a motorcycle romance that I did not mention that you would highly recommend. Put that down below, and or leave me a motorcycle is an emoji, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.